If you would open up this chopper image that I've included for you, helicopter. We're going to start talking about channels, and I'll have several videos on this, and we're getting close to going as far as we're going to go with this with Photoshop. So the channels is a big part of it, and something I want to really explain and make sure everybody's really clear on. And we'll do it in small increments, but let's start with this. Channels palettes, and I mentioned it once before earlier. But if we go to Window, remember, and I did mention it whenever I talked about whenever we had a selection like this, and we went up to Select and chose Save Selection. If you remember that, and when you hit OK, it saves that box that I just drew as this channel. It's alpha channel. It shows it to us in black and white. So I have mentioned that before. I hope you remember that. But I'm going to go ahead and open up the Channels palette. If you can't remember where it was, it's under Window. You should find Channels there. Channels show us several things. First thing they show us is how much ink is going to print in the image and where. So if you had to answer that question, we open it up, you can see the composite channel, CMYK, and if I click on that CMYK channel, and this image, by the way, is in CMYK mode. I can go in image mode and see. If it was in RGB mode, the channels palette would just have red, green, and blue channels in it. So we're going to keep it in CMYK, process, ink, colors. And I'm going to click on the individual channels. I'm going to click on cyan. And it shows it to me in black and white and shades of gray. Same way with magenta, yellow, and black. And really what you're looking at, if you're on the cyan channel, you're looking at how much blue is used is used in this image. And the more the blue, the darker the gray. So obviously in the cyan channel, up here on the helicopter where it's almost black, that makes sense that there's a lot of blue there, because look, there's a lot of blue there. So this cyan channel shows me how much blue is there in terms of grayscale. The magenta channel, there's still some red in that blue paint. Go to the yellow channel, there's hardly any yellow at all present in those blue stripes. And there's some black present there. So that's the first thing channels show us. They show us how much ink is going to print in an image and where. Okay, and knowing that gives us a lot of control, a lot of power over our image and what we can do to it. So now we know two things about channels. We know that they're a place where we can save selections as masks. So if I make a selection, and I go to select and I save it, it saves it over here on the channel as a mask. That means whatever I had selected and what was blinking is shown to me in white, and everything else is black. And what that means is what is blinking, the pixels within this blinking edge are the ones that are accessible. All the rest of them are blocked. They're masked. They're kept from me. Doesn't matter what I do. If I take a paintbrush and start going crazy, it's only going to paint inside that selected area because everything else is masked. That's how you need to start thinking about selections. If I do some crazy blur, some motion blur in there, to make it look like it's flying by at light speed, it only applied it to the space that was inside the selected area. So that's the first thing we know about channels. They create masks from our selections. They also show us how much ink is going to print and where. Okay, now knowing that is going to lead us to the next video where I'm going to show you guys how to make the green grass inside this window match the green grass outside the window.